Kirk is chomping at the bit to go and arrest Harrison and bring him back to face trial for his crimes. Admiral Marcus, on the other hand, recommends going all the way to the end of their borders to the neutral zone and shooting torpedoes at their planet. Let me get this straight. Going into their space would be an act of war, but shooting at their homeworld, well, hey, as long as we were out of bounds when it happened. And so Kirk and Spock discuss ethics and war and all these matters, and this is actually a relevant scene, so there's not really much to mock here. However, what is worth mocking is the new chick who arrives. She's cute and Australian and, as we find out later, utterly pointless other than more pandering, in more ways than one. As the Enterprise prepares to take off for its secret mission, Scotty refuses to allow the 72 state-of-the-art secret torpedoes that Admiral Marcus secretly sent them to shoot at Kronos.
This is clearly a military operation. Is that what we are now?
Oh my, are you really going to have this retarded debate again? Starfleet is military. They have warships and weapons. They have a military command structure. They keep the peace and patrol the borders just as much as they explore. They have from the very beginning of the original series. Starfleet is military.
Right, well, you leave me no choice but to resign my duties.
Oh, come on, Scotty.
You're giving me no choice, sir.
You're not giving me
I
much
will
of
not
a
stand
choice.
by
You
and
just make an
do you
exception, son.
accept my resignation or not?
I do!
You're fired.
Well, time to make that debate look like it was actually intelligent when Kirk and Uhura have a little conversation about Spock.
Wait, are you guys fighting?
I'd rather not talk about
Oh
it,
my
sir.
God, what is that even like?
And Kirk makes Chekhov the chief engineer.
Go put on the red shirt.
Good in heaven, anything but that! What is it with the position of navigator that makes chief engineer the next promotion step for you? So Spock and Kirk discuss it again, and Kirk decides that he's going to screw Marcus's mission, and he's going to go and do the right thing and arrest Harrison.
You know, when you said he's going to screw Marcus's mission, I thought that sentence was going to end differently.
There's always slash fic. And the Australian chick, Carol Wallace, turns out is actually Carol Marcus!
The duh heard around the world.
The Enterprise's warp engines suddenly fail, 20 minutes away from Kronos. So either they were 20 minutes away by warp, which means they're still an enormously long distance away sublight, or they were 20 minutes away sublight, which means, what, do they have another half second at warp, if that?
Someone has no sense of scale, doesn't he now?
Apparently it's the latter, because Kirk, Spock, and Uhura are able to go on a shuttle ride for about 20 minutes, or is the Klingon border just that close to the neutral zone? And Kirk puts Sulu in command of the Enterprise while he's gone, and again, good scene. Nothing to make fun of. Again. Apparently they took Harry Mudd's ship at some point between movie 1 and movie 2, even though they shouldn't have encountered Harry Mudd yet at all, but we're overlooking that. And they're going to go undercover as smugglers. This will mean nothing at all, but I guess it answers a nitpicky question. Sulu contacts Harrison and threatens him to get him to surrender.
If you do not surrender to them immediately, I will unleash the entire payload of advanced long-range torpedoes currently locked onto your location. If you test me, you will fail.
Mr. Sulu, remind me never to piss you off.
Oh my.
Kronos isn't spelled that way.
Nerd.
Geek. And now it's time for some petty squabbling with our favorite character, Uhura, also known as the most obnoxious character in Crossroads.
Actually, I'd be happy to speak if you're willing to listen to me.
Oh, you're not serious.
Are you really gonna do this right now?
What never seems to
Shut up!
2 seconds.
What?
At that volcano, you didn't give a thought to us. What it would do to me if you died, Spock.
It's not about you!
Can we at least pretend to be professional here?
You're making Kirk look like the professional one.
Kirk!
This Kirk, no less. Oh, and we also find out when Spock mind-melded with the dying Captain Pike that death is bad. I'm glad Pike died for that revelation.
What the hell was that?
Violence and death! Hooray!
Ah, so this is the Klingon Detroit. I see, yeah.
Meanwhile, in the second Death Star,
ordering us to land. Captain, they're gonna want to know why we're here. And they're gonna torture us, question us, and they're gonna kill us.
The new Klingons. They're slightly redesigned. Suddenly Harrison shows up and Michael Bay takes over the film. The new Batleths. Retardedly redesigned.
Stand down. How many torpedoes? Stand down! The torpedoes! The weapons you threatened me with in your message. How many are there?
Harrison learns about the 72 torpedoes, not 47, and he surrenders. After the surrender, mind you, Kirk beats down horribly on the guy. But either Kirk punches like a little sissy girl, or this guy is really tough, or maybe both. The important thing is Kirk fails again. Oh, and also, our hero! McCoy, for no reason we can think of with what he knows at the time, takes Harrison blood while Harrison Hannibal Lecters out on us.
Captain, you're gonna punch me again over and over till your arm weakens. Clearly you want to, so tell me. Why did you allow me to live?
Tell me about the lambs, Kirk. He gives Kirk a set of coordinates that are right near Earth. And so Kirk makes a cell phone call from the Klingon neutral zone all the way to Earth with no delay at all. Why don't I get their coverage? I have AT&T and I can barely talk to people in the other room. Oh, good. We're back at a bar. Scotty has a little comic moment, but he decides he's going to search those coordinates Kirk gave him. Sure is a good thing one of our main characters ended up staying on Earth after all, huh?
Look, we're gonna open a torpedo. The question is how.
The Admiral's daughter appeared to have interest in the torpedoes, and she is a weapons specialist. Perhaps she could be of some use.
You're much cleverer than your reputation suggests, Captain Kirk.
I have a reputation?
Yes, you do. I'm a friend of Christine Chappell's.
Christine, yes. How's she?
She transferred to the outer frontier to be a nurse. She's much happier now.
That's good.
You have no idea who I'm talking about, do you?
So, you know Christine Chappell... Wait, no, was there any point to that name drop at all?
But I will...
Oh yeah, this scene was totally necessary.
Turn around.
Was that statement aimed at Kirk or the cameraman?
Yeah, and this is totally the way that a woman stands when she doesn't want you to look at her. Here, let me just stick my boobs out a little bit more.
Now.
You know, it's a little hypocritical for us to laugh at Kirk and call him a pervert when this scene is aimed at all the perverts in the audience for them to enjoy. And it turns out the damage that the Enterprise suffered earlier was sabotage. Meanwhile, at those set of coordinates near Earth, Scotty gets in due to a lack of windows with these secret people's shuttles. Luckily, the Enterprise was disabled in close range of some mysterious planet, and so McCoy and Marcus were able to go down and fiddle with the torpedo. After one short little bit of tension that just feels the need for an action sequence, we find out there's a man in the case of the torpedo. The man in the torpedo is 300 years old.
You don't look it.
And it turns out Harrison is Khan!
Khan!
No shit, Sherlock.
I am better.
At what?
Everything. Alexander Marcus needed to respond to an uncivilized threat in a civilized time, and for that, he needed a warrior's mind. My mind.
You know, if you close your eyes, this guy is going back and forth from Jeremy Irons to Alan Rickman. It's an all-Gruber performance. Apparently, after the events of the first movie, Starfleet started going out much more aggressively than in the original timeline, and so other people found Khan before Kirk was out there on his 5-year mission. He forced Khan to design new advanced weapons for his inevitable war with the Klingons. And it turns out Admiral Marcus used Kirk to start a war with the Klingons. Like he was going to do anyway. Why did Kirk fall for this in the first place? Oh yeah, Kirk's a moron. And suddenly Admiral Marcus arrives in the Excelsior? Oh, the Vengeance, of course. He demands that Kirk surrender Khan over to him. Kirk bluffs and plans to hurry and escape, despite the damage, and run back to Earth and basically tell on Marcus.
If you think you're safe at warp, you're wrong.
This statement is not the dramatic bombshell it's supposed to be. This has been said a lot, and I see exactly what people mean when they say that J.J. Abrams clearly wants to make this into Star Wars. But let me make one thing really clear. Warp speed is not hyperspace. Never in Star Trek's history has warp speed meant you can't fight, or contact people, or anything else. Still, it looks really awesome when Admiral Marcus comes in and blasts Enterprise out of warp. I gotta give it that. Carol Marcus gets on the line with her dad, Admiral Marcus, see the connection there, and negotiates a ceasefire. And then he beams her away. This is her only significant contribution to the movie. Other than...
Turn around.
Please, sir. I'll do anything you want. Just let them live.
Whoa, wait a minute. I'm freaking out. Chris Pine's version of Kirk is acting mature and self-sacrificial, dignified, worth following, and then Admiral Marcus decides to shoot him anyway.
I'm sorry.
But then Scotty disables it because, remember, he got inside. So Kirk releases Khan so they can go on board the Vengeance together. Since Khan knows the ship, having designed it and all, this actually makes sense to bring him along. Wow, there's been thought put into this.
Bones, what are you doing with that Tribble?
Just pandering to the fans, sir. Because for some reason now they can't get the shuttles out, Kirk and Khan are going to space jump on board the ship.
Oh, Scotty, you good?
It's not easy, just give me 2 seconds, right, you mad bastard?
Sir, I didn't have my Bluetooth.
And the space jump scene is freaking awesome and one of the best action scenes Star Trek has ever done. There's really nothing I can say bad about this. This is excellently done. Go J.J. Abrams. And to counter that, let's do some pandering with Leonard Nimoy.
Khan Noonien Singh is the most dangerous adversary the Enterprise ever faced.
No, actually, this is Khan Johnson.
Oh, dude, he's awesome.
I love Khan Johnson.
Yeah, he makes a great barbecue.
You ever seen his karaoke?
Oh.
He can do Rock You Like a Hurricane like you wouldn't believe.
Nice guy. Awesome, dude. Just tell him I said hi.
And from this important critical scene, that's not at all there just to pander to fans, we learn that Khan is dangerous. Because seeing him take out a whole squadron of Klingon soldiers wasn't proof that he's dangerous. Watching him take hit after hit after hit from Kirk doesn't show that he's dangerous. Knowing that he designed all these cutting-edge weapons doesn't show that he's dangerous. Seeing him single-handedly cause a massacre of Starfleet's best and brightest captains on Earth doesn't show that he was dangerous. Thank you, Leonard Nimoy, for showing us the light.
Yes.